Yeah, I've started recording. Yeah, this is a random podcast that I am doing with my good friend Jake Swanson. Say hi, Jake. I don't really know how to introduce, really.
Yeah, hi there, everyone. So we're doing this podcast. I guess Felix, you're gonna introduce it.
Yeah, we're doing these. We're doing a tier list. One of these tier lists. You might have seen them like all over. All over. I'll just close this email. Yep, there we go. You might have seen these tier lists somewhere on YouTube or Facebook, and I thought it would be a good idea to do this since we're all locked inside, not doing very much. And I thought the best idea of things to rank are swimming pools that I've been to, which I assume that if you are my friend and you looked at these. You came across this podcast, then you've probably been to some of these pools, so it might be a discussion point. So here we have 5 tiers. So there's a tier of the best pools, a tier for great to good pools, a middle tier that says okay, fourth tier that's for not that good pools, and a fifth tier for pools that we would like to demolish.
Sounds great.
Yeah. So here we have a huge list of pools. It's a bit weird because the pictures here are so small, so I have my phone here to remember which one's which, and I have a list here. We start off with all the pools in Shetland, and then we kind of start going south until we finish England. There's not very many from England that I have been to, and then we go to ones that I've been abroad, and then Island Games ones in a separate one, and then that's it. That's about 50 pools. So,
all right, let's get started.
Yeah, so we'll start off with Shetland pools. We might as well. I don't know which one to start with, so we might as well start with the Click 'em In because that one's quite interesting to talk about. What do you think of the Click 'em In?
Yeah, I mean, kind of my old stomping ground, shall we say? So, yeah, I really highly rate it. To be honest, it's not a bad pool for a 25 meter. It's got nice diving boards as well. Like, you've got to appreciate that when you're a youngster. But it's a solid pool. I mean, it was kind of difficult when the scoreboard was broken for like 10 years.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
For them trying to get that fixed and everything. I mean, small venue in terms of like if you're trying to host an Island Games in there, it was definitely a bit cramped. But yeah, overall, it's a solid pool.
It's a solid pool. I'd say that. There's quite a lot of things I don't like about it. Well, when I say quite a lot of things, they're kind of mini things that I don't know if it's just me. I don't think it's very well kept for a pool like that. You'd expect a pool like that to be kept better.
How do you mean?
It's always dirty and it doesn't smell very nice, especially toilets. They don't smell very nice compared to some other pools. But then again, there are worse smelling pools. I had quite a lot of other things to say, but it's quite a good pool. See,
so which tier would you think about then?
This is the only pool that I asked my mum about, and she said great to good. I was thinking earlier when I was trying to make this list to put it in the okay or something like that. But there's the only thing I can. One thing that I also really don't like about this pool is that the air is very stuffy, and every time I'm doing a competition nowadays, when I'm doing 100 or more, I'm always kind of sick at those competitions. Do you get that?
No, I can't say I've had that. I've had it a few times and I've been hungover swimming, but apart from that,
I always get that at that pool. So I was either going to put it in great to good or okay.
I would personally, I would go okay. Like if okay is higher than great to good, is that right?
No, great to good is ahead of okay.
Okay, yeah. So better.
Yeah, that's better than okay. Yeah, we put it in there.
Yeah.
So we'll put it in there. Whichever ones I just put up my list. So we'll talk about Unst and Yell. Do you know much about Youngston Yell?
Well, it's a bit of a copy and paste job, isn't it?
It
They're
is.
quite similar pools. Like, I think, isn't it that two pools, also Scalwa and Sandwick are all the same?
Unst and Yell and Walza are all basically the exact same leisure centre. But Walza has a small difference. With Unst and Yell, they're both 12.5 meter pools. I did not know that until I looked it up as well. I was thinking, how did I not know that until I looked it up? But that sounds pretty cool. I would quite like to do a time trial there.
It'd be rapid.
Yeah, I remember going there years in the past. I think my mum went and did synchronized diving at one or two of them. Took the I can't remember exactly why. I do remember going there a couple of times. For it's a very that's very interesting.
What do you think? 100 breaths under a minute in the 12.5 meter pool?
I reckon if I could train for it, I reckon that I would not under a minute. I reckon I'd go like a 62 without cheating.
Under a minute with cheating, then?
With cheating, maybe, yeah. I'd be so out of breath at the end, though. Like,
Yeah, you just do 100 meters without breathing.
yeah, with dolphin leg kick. I've done a couple of breaststrokes where I just, for the hell of it, just decided to do dolphin leg kick. I did one at like Aberdeen Aquatics meet, and they did not disqualify me.
Did you
And
win?
I was like, why are you not disqualifying me? I mean, like, and now I have to do a final, and then I felt guilty because I did the exact same thing in the final, just not anywhere near as cool. And I got a medal, and I'm like, shit, what? I got this medal and I cheated getting it. I felt really guilty.
All the truth is coming out in the podcast, Felix.
And then I did it again at a Carnegie meet. I didn't actually tell my coach because I was swimming for University of Stirling at this just small meet, and I did say to him months in advance that I intend on doing 100 breast because I'm going to do this. And then he basically said, yeah, all right. And I told him over and over again I'm going to do it because I was surprised that he was going to let me do it. I went and did it. Everybody in the whole pool, including him, looked at me as if I just kicked a baby. And damn, it was the most awkward moment ever.
That's what it's like in the breaststroke world. It's cutthroat.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's an interesting pool. It's quite, for a pool of that size, it looks interesting to swim in. So I'll put okay for both of those if I can remember which one's which. Yep, there we go. I put Unst and Yell both in okay at the moment. We might change that around. Walza, which is basically the exact same pool, but for some reason they decided to make it 15 meters. And that's a bit less practical. It's bigger, but it's a lot less practical because it does not it doesn't go to 50 or 100 meters. You can't just do a time trial.
Yeah, that's true. So it's definitely going to be down the ranks then.
Well, for a pool to train in, I would say, yeah, I'd say demolish it. We don't actually want it to be demolished, but I'd put it down there just for that because I find that pretty unforgivable. How can you make it so? What's the word? Yeah, it seemed a bit pointless.
Yeah, man, get it demolished.
Get it demolished. All right, so another pool that I would like to demolish is the WMLC. West Mainland Leisure Centre. So, which one did I? Which? There's a couple of reasons for that. It's not a very pleasant pool. It's basically the exact same size as the NMLC, except they decided to fit 4 lanes in there, so the lanes aren't big enough.
No, they're
And
absolutely tiny.
yeah, tiny. We like Delton Dolphins used to go there whenever the NMLC is not open. Also, to get there, we had to go on a really windy road, which most people would say exhausts them before they even get to training. And I mean, it's not my favorite pool at all. I mean, it's a dark pool with very bright lights, and I remember we went into a changing area with showers with it's well lit with shit lights, and then we went onto poolside, and I almost fainted because the atmosphere was so different.
Were you there for a competition, like?
Oh no, that was for training. You were there.
Oh yeah, true. No, but I'm just saying, have you been there for a competition or just?
No, never for a competition. No, it's just for training, really. Some of these pools that we're going to talk about, I've only went to train, which loads of people would have done the same, really, if they're listening.
Yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
like one of the other reasons why I would demolish it is because the last time I was there, we turned up onto poolside and there was one lifeguard on pool. Well, not even on poolside. She was doing a lesson, and that was it. There was no other lifeguard watching, and that's
Okay,
like
yeah.
that's a big note. Yeah,
It's such a local pool.
such a local pool where you think the rules don't matter to them. So, also, fun fact: my mum was doing a child protection course there years and years and years ago. And me and my brother had remote control cars, and me and my brother decided to put the remote control cars through the revolving door. And my one got stuck, and it broke the car and the door. I wonder if they've
It would
given
have
us.
been an expensive fix.
I So the next two, which are also basically exactly the same, is the Scalawa and the Sandwick pools, and they're better. I like those ones a bit more.
I rate them, to be honest. Like I remember having some good times, and there's like they've got a nice jacuzzi. You can kind of look at the window, and yeah, it's got a solid baby pool, which you can actually jump from that into the big pool if you don't get caught by the lifeguards.
Yeah, it's a nice place to chill out. I remember the last time I was there with my family, and I just wanted to chill out in the baby pool. My mum was like, "Yo, everyone knows that you're Felix Gifford. They want to see you swim properly," and I'm like, "Fuck's sake, I don't really want to." And then eventually, I just kind of did like 100 fly, and I was exhausted from it. And everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this show off?" Um, I rate it. I'd put that in okay. Actually,
Yeah, me too.
I need to remember which pictures they are though. I think it's this one. No, I think that's Northfield actually. Hold on, we've got. Should have probably looked this up before oh, I got it on my documents. I think everyone's gonna see my documents, see what I've been up to.
Am I on the screen, Felix?
No, you're on this. You're on it now because I just clicked to
Okay.
you. I don't. I'm all new to this, so I don't know how to stick you onto the screen for when it's.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I don't know what I'm doing. So fuck, which one's which? I'll need to zoom in. This is gonna look so unprofessional on the.
What is this for the?
I was just gonna put it. I was just gonna put it up and see if people were interested. I mean, they might be. It was just for a laugh, really.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's one of them. Yeah, nope, I put it in the wrong one. I'd put them ahead of both Unst and Yell. Unst and Yell are really nice leisure centres, though. The pool's a bit. Yeah, there they are. And so yeah, we have one more for the for the one that I deliberately left last because it's my stomping ground, and that's the NMLC, which is the best super short course pool of all time.
I can confirm.
I mean, there's not much to dislike about it, really. I mean, I've been trying to think of things I dislike about it, and the only real thing that I dislike about it is that the SRT don't give it enough respect, especially when things went a bit wrong. Like, what year was it? I think it was 2017 when the roof fell off, and it took 11 months for it took 11 months for the SRT to fix it, which it wasn't a job that takes 11 months to do. There was a lot of time where nothing was being done. That's kind of the only thing that I would mark it down for. But for a 16 2/3 meter pool with 3 lanes, it's really cool. I mean, you get a lot of light. It has a lot of atmosphere, and the actual leisure center itself has quite a lot of stuff with a lot of other features that aren't really a part of it. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite pools. Obviously. Would you agree?
Yeah, we spent a lot of hours in that pool, going up and down. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's got it's a unique design, especially with the small baby area that you can chill there. You can kind of go up and down in the lengths, and yeah, I mean, who doesn't love waiting at that triangle for a race?
Oh, that I can't believe that there was a time where there was a palm tree that. Well, I do remember that palm tree. We did have to get rid of it. I can understand why we got rid of it. And wait, did you ever go there when everything was yellow?
I don't think so. Maybe once for like a beta league.
Man, it's so much better without it being yellow. Yellow would be like nostalgic nowadays. It's a good pool. Let's see. So it's in the best tier at the moment. So we'll see how many pools will beat it. The next pool on my list is Fraserburgh. Have you ever been to Fraserburgh? Oh no, actually, it's not Fraserburgh. It's Kirkwall Grammar School.
Get that demolished immediately.
It's So, what is your memories of that pool?
I think it's the worst pool I've swum in. It's just. I think I felt it was like a slow pool. It's just terrible for atmosphere. It's in a school as well. Yeah, I have like really bad memories of there. I mean, we usually won when we were in there, but yeah, apart from that, that's like the only good memories that you can possibly have in this pool, I think.
I do remember a time when the atmosphere was great. Like, were you there? It was
What, when you were against Sean?
Yeah, back in the day. It was when 2007. I remember the atmosphere was nuclear, and I literally remember my Miss Copeland, my PE teacher, actually screaming with her eyes closed, looking like she's just blasting her throat out. It was awesome. That was awesome, but the pool itself is pretty terrible.
Are you demolishing it?
I was thinking of putting it in not that good, but I think I'll demolish it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's the right picture. Yeah, that seems. Yeah, I think that's the right picture. Yeah. So, have you been to the new Orkney pool, the Picky?
No, I've not been to it. I've just seen photos.
I've just seen photos. The photos seem quite nice. I don't know if
have you not been at all?
I haven't been yet. Callum's been.
Oh, McCall.
Yeah, it seems like a fast pool because he went really fast there. Not saying that he's slow, but he hasn't. To be honest, he hasn't been near that PB since. That is a total dig. I'm sorry, Callum, if you're hearing this. I kind of want to put it on this list because it's obviously, despite not being there, it's obviously an improvement on that.
It looks like a solid pool. Like I would probably say maybe even great to good.
Just because we haven't been and we only have this picture to go by, and I mean, we heard some good stuff about it. We'll put it at the top end of okay. We put it ahead of Sandwick and Scalawa for just now.
All right, perfect.
We also have Stromness, but we don't know. We don't know anything about that. So next one is Fraserburgh. Yeah, have you been to Fraserburgh?
Nah, not been to that one.
It's all right. I'd say like the pool is quite nice, but the location it's in is awful. Like
What in Fraserburgh?
Fraserburgh is awful. Like the pool is fine. It's like a diamond and well, not a diamond, but it's like it's real. It's I've been there a couple of times to do competition. The first competition I did was like a district distance thing. It was basically the opposite of sprints, where everyone did distance instead of everyone doing sprints. So that's pretty cool. But the pool itself is it's all right. It's all right. One of my favorite memories was when we were. I was just waiting to leave, and I was giving Gordon a lift, and Max phoned me. So I was taking a phone call from Max, and the Aberdeen Amateurs coach had one of his swimmers leading the race, and then for some reason, he just saw me on the phone. He was like, "Hey, there's no phones. No phones in this area." And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? So I'm like, trying to speak to Max while this guy is just basically yelling at me, like, who's not even a member of staff there. And as soon as he turned around after yelling at me, his swimmer was no longer in the lead. That was pretty amusing, but
When was that? When was that? How do you remember that?
That was 2013. I remember because I won 2 golds. And one of them in a very exciting 400 free, man. Just
Nice.
Stu Mac. Stu Mac was on an undefeated streak up until that race. I felt like Brock Lesnar beating the Undertaker streak.
Sweet.
Sweet. I can't remember which photo this is as well, but I have to look it up on my phone. Fraserburgh. So it's one that, yeah, that's Fraserburgh. I'll put it in not that good.
Fair.
Actually, you know what? It's okay. We'll put it at okay because it is a all right pool for that. What's the next pool? The next pool is Banff. Have you been? Yeah, you just said you went to Banff. Like,
yeah.
Before the first start.
Yeah, I've been to Banff. Yeah.
What do you remember from it?
Oh, to be honest, not too much. It was kind of, I would say, an older pool, so like probably almost maybe on the demolished list. I don't know if I would put it there, but yeah, from my very young memories, yeah, not that great.
I can't remember it very much apart from I did a 200 free there where I stopped at 6 lengths and thought I won out of everyone, out of all the age groups, and then I turned around and realised that I had 2 lengths to go. I swam the next 2 lengths really terribly because I was crying, and nothing out of the ordinary there touched, and I still won out of my age group. That was a good memory. I also remember the water tasting like batteries. I remember because Connor Johnson told me.
What a random taste.
Yeah, I enjoyed the trip that I went to there, but the pool itself is a bit. I don't remember. I remember there being a wasp nest near it, and then for that, I'll just fucking demolish it. Since you say demolish as well, I'll put demolish. The next one is Bucky.
Bucky.
You remember the Bucky pool? I remember the Bucky pool.
I would say my only memory from the Bucky pool is or maybe this was at the Gary pool. It might have been Bucky. Remember, Drew did a turn and he like did like this funny thing with his thumb,
Oh,
like during the race.
yeah, high-fived someone in 100 fly.
Did he?
Yeah, I remember it was his last. Like he didn't want to do 100 fly. And he just decided to high five. I think it was Connor, and Connor's like, "What? You're not going to disqualify him for that?" You didn't do anything wrong, but I don't know what to say about this. It's 5 lanes, which is a bit weird. But we put NMLC at the top, and that has 3 lanes. But one thing that I would mark this down for is that they have giant fans that you nail your foot off during a front crawl race. So that's
like in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, and some of the lanes is right in the center, so you nail your foot off it. Unless you can like perfectly place your foot on those fans, you get an advantage. But more often than not, you just smack your foot off it. They have nice paintings all over the place, so I'd give that a bit of a mark. The changing area is not that bad, actually. I can't remember much else. I'll put it in not that good. That 4th tier. Let me think. Yeah, if Fraser Burroughs in the one above, I'll put Bucky in not that good. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
The next one is Forest, which I just put a picture of Forest Bluefin's logo there. We have good memories of this pool.
Yeah. Storming it.
I mean, it was actually my first away meet was a Forest Bluefin's meet in 2004, and that was a good memory. And I got a silver medal, I remember. And then it went, for some reason we didn't go there for like 2 or 3 years, and then we went there for years on end, and we always had a good team atmosphere going into those meets, and yeah, there was a year where we should have won and we didn't, and then the year after we did win and we were absolutely like smug as fuck. So smug that the lifeguards hated us.
I think everyone hated us.
Everyone hated. Well, some people were like for us. Like I remember Stacey Leach wanting us to win, despite the fact that she's definitely Forest Bluefins.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, I don't know. Like in general, the pool wasn't that great. Yeah, it was more just the kind of experience of being there. Like, it wasn't that like 4-lane pool. Like
it was a 4-lane pool where there's a drain on every wall, so there's no escape. And the walls.
Yeah, true. Yeah, man, it was a shit pool actually.
It was a shit pool when you think about it. I never thought about it. Like we have good memories there, but the pool is not that good. It's not the worst pool ever. I mean, it's better than. Well, it's not as good as Bucky when you think about it. I like the marshalling area was just benches that were stacked really close together. I remember because Alan Clark decided to push you. I think it was for banter, and then he pushed you, and then you fell over, and then it was like, oh shit, I look like a dick.
I don't think that was banter.
You don't think I was?
Still to this day.
Oh, the changing area is all right, and that's probably a saving grace for it. I don't know what tier to put it in.
We could put it in okay.
Nah, not that good. We'll put it in not that good. The 4th tier, above Demolish It. So, what's the next pool after Forest? Oh yes, the Aquadome.
Oh, that's got to be up there.
Oh, that's without a doubt, it's in the best tier.
Yeah, that's an absolute solid pool. You would think it's a 50-meter pool with the arena that's in there, but it's not.
It's just like I remember Mark Campbell was comparing it to Borussia Dortmund Stadium because of the atmosphere is so great, and the pool is just awesome. I don't have a bad thing to say about the pool, and comparing it to the NMLC, like the only thing I don't like about the NMLC is that fact that it doesn't get much respect when something goes wrong. The Aquadome burnt down once, and then it was like up and running again, like in February. Like it was like burnt down in January, and we had this meet coming up there, and then we were still just went to it. We were like, "Fuck, where's
when
this
did it burn
meet taking place?" Hmm?
When did it burn down?
Oh, I can't remember. 2010, 11 or something like that. It burnt down, and like I don't think when we went to swim there, I don't think the public area was open, but like you could barely tell that it was burnt down. It was it was it's awesome. That one goes into best. Does it go in front of NMLC or not?
Ooh, I don't know. We had a lot of meets there. Maybe even more meets there than in
I'd
NMLC.
I'd say we probably did because we had like a club championships and then maybe a head to head there a year, and we used to go to Inverness quite a lot. You know what? More people would agree that the Aquadome should be ahead, so we'll put the Aquadome ahead.
Yeah,
But
do it.
awesome pool, and it probably deserves it. One of my favorite pools. So after the after the Aquadome, we have Peterhead. Did you go to Peterhead?
Nah, no, didn't go Peterhead.
Well, something that I remember from Peterhead is that it's not even this weird. It's a hexagon. Is it a hexagon or is it an octagon? It's a 1, 2, 3. That's an octagon, really. And it overflowed when during warm up. I remember that it was like to our feet when we were trying to um, trying to just sit around during warm up. So we did a couple of district meets there, but nothing else. And I'd say it's even worse than Orkney.
Really?
It's either just above Orkney or just below Orkney.
Would you rank it as the worst pool you've ever been at?
No, there is one that I think is even worse. That we will get to. I don't think you went to that one.
I'll leave it on a cliffhanger.
We'll leave it. Let's put it ahead. In fact, nah, yeah, put it ahead of Orkney, but behind the WMLC. Actually, you know what? Walsall should be at the bottom because it's a 15-meter pool. All right, so that's Peterhead. What is next? Bridge of Dawn, which I actually don't remember. Don't remember much about at all.
I don't think I ever swam there.
I remember doing a meet there where all I had was 53, and I had a full body. This was back when full bodysuits were a thing, and I did had a full bodysuit on. And during marshalling, I had all these kids who knew my name and was screaming that I was gay because I had a full bodysuit on. And then Stacey Leach came and basically pretended to flirt with me and all that, and really shutted them up, which I thought was cool. They really shut them up.
So random.
Yeah, and the only two other things I remember from that pool is that there's a weird footpath that you go on to poolside, which I believe is still there unless they refurbished it lately, and that the changing area had curtains when I went. I wasn't a big fan of it.
So where are you putting it?
Not that good. Behind Forest Bluefins. Yeah, I'll put it there. Yeah, I think that's a deserving place of it. The next pool is Northfield. Fuck.
Where's North? Is Northfield a town?
Northfield is in Northfield, and I'm surprised that you asked that because Northfield is basically the notorious part of Aberdeen, and it's where I trained for about a year and 3/4, and I fucking hated it. I mean, I had no problem training there. It had a good atmosphere, and I was kind of used to it. I prefer training at a pool full time rather than uh, going somewhere else and every now and again. It's a strange one. The changing area was pretty crap. Um, there was like all right shower area. Um, the lifeguards were all cool, and actually there was a weird moment where I think I was just getting ready for training, and Stu Max like going, "Yo, Felix, come over here," and I'm like, "Fuck, where are we going?" And we went through this room where we usually keep our kit bags. There was a door that I never went in before that I didn't even notice. He opened the door, showed me it was their plant room, and it was completely flooded. And I'm like, holy shit, this really is Northfield. I had people throw stuff at my car while I was there as well. I was also quite worried about going there before I moved to Coast because I was hearing that once every week the same kid would turn up and take a poop in the pool. So I was hearing that, and
Hopefully, it wasn't in Coast.
no, he wasn't at Coast. He was just some kid. I don't know whether to put it in demolish yet or not that good because actually, you know what? It got condemned recently. No, there was an area. There was a time when they had to shut it down completely, and now you know what? I don't think it deserves to be demolished. I think I'll put it not that good, but at the very bottom of that. So that's where Northfield goes. What's the next after Northfield? Aberdeen Sports Village. So Aberdeen Sports Village is next. Have you been to Aberdeen Sports Village?
Yeah, when I swam for my university, UWS, I had Scottish, no, like, do you know Triple S? Did you swim with that at Stirling?
It's Triple S. I don't think I have. Scottish.
Scottish student sport. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, it's first time swimming in the pool. Yeah, it's pretty solid to be honest. Like with the boom, 50 meter at 25, and yeah, it's brand spanking new.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, don't know. I didn't feel like the atmosphere was that great in it. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't compare to the dome.
Yeah, compared to the dome, the atmosphere is pretty like dead. Like, there's nothing really bad I can say about it apart from that you just don't love it. Like, yeah, I'll put it in great to good. Yeah, great to good. It's a fantastic. I put it ahead of Clickerman if I'm honest. It's a fantastic like facility, but there's not very much heart there.
Yeah, well, it has that big diving thing as well.
Yeah, that's great as well. Yeah, even looking at that, I don't feel like I don't seem excited. I'm more excited about the diving board at Clickerman than I am at the ASB. Despite the ones, it's obvious, it's better, but it just doesn't look as fun.
Yeah, that's true. It looks more serious.
Yeah, it looks more serious. I mean, I trained there for like the very first day that I trained there. A kid collapsed, hit his head off the floor, and he had to be resuscitated and everything. The very first day it opened.
Shit.
I imagine that happened on the first. I'm sure he was fine because I'm sure if something bad, like if he died or something, we would have known about it. But so yeah, that's Aberdeen Sports Village. It's the atmosphere lets it down there. The next pool is RGU, and have you been to the RGU pool?
I didn't know they had a pool, to be honest. So no.
Well, I'll tell you something about that pool. The atmosphere in that pool makes me feel like my soul's being sucked out. It's like if it's completely silent, there is no atmosphere, and it feels like the Dementors are coming from bloody Harry Potter. I'm not a fan of that pool, despite the fact that it seems quite nicely like kept, and it seems quite new enough. I just don't like the pool at all. And I don't like the changing areas either.
How come?
just not a pool I like. I don't have many good memories of it either. So most of the memories I have there are not very good. I'm putting that behind Northfield. I don't know whether to put it in demolish it or not that good. I'll put it in not that good because I think it deserves that more than being demolished. So I think more people would like that. I don't like it, but I think some people do actually like that pool. The next pool I have on this list is quite interesting, and it will be quite decisive. Have you ever been to the Bonnecord Baths?
No, but I've been there, but I've never swam in it. Like, it looks very. This is the one next to the Asheville, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, it looks pretty suave. Like, looks very. How do you say, like, very Olympic and grand? But I don't know how it is to swim in.
It's
Yourself?
33 and a third meter pool with a boom, so it does go to 25 meters, and I've only heard like good nostalgia, good stuff about it, and it's a big cult following. But now it's just sitting there with no water. People kind of it's up for sale and no one's buying it. People kind of break into the place to vandalize it, and it's like still up for sale, and people, they make rallies to save it. I think because it has like they should demolish it because it apparently, from what I heard, it costs like £100,000 a day to not demolish. But they from news articles that I was reading and stuff like that, they do. There's like a cult following for that pool, so just for that, I'll put it in the top end of not that good.
Okay, fair.
People there's photos of I've never swam in it in its prime, but people seem to love that pool, and you can't really deny that. So the next pool is West Hill. That's a pretty nice pool actually. Very fast pool.
It's a classic one. We spent a lot of time in that one as well. I remember.
Yeah, man. It's not much to say. It's a good atmosphere, good fast pool. I don't like West Hill very much.
Oh, the area in Aberdeen.
The area of West Hill is not the nicest area, but the pool itself is actually it's pretty awesome actually. I think the lowest it can go is in great to good. So again, I'm gonna have to find the picture. I forgot which picture it is. I'm looking at my phone because I took a picture of all the pictures with all the list on it. It's that one. So which one's that? Where is it? That's it. That goes in great to good. Would you say it's better or worse than the Clickamin?
Worse.
Worse. All right. Yeah, that's an awesome pool. People do like that pool. Not as good as the Aquadome though. Everyone's a bit. It got a bit of I remember people being pissed off because the districts was being held at West Hill instead of the Aquadome. So it's a great pool, good memories. I remember when Delton Dolphins bet Sass in a relay. Were you in the relay?
In the Dome?
No, in West Hill.
I'm not sure. It could have been.
Oh, nice. It's a good pool. The next pool is Inverurie. What do you think of Inverurie?
Home of Gary.
The home of Geary.
Well, I don't know what they put on their blocks. Butter, maybe.
Ah, fucking hell, man. I mean, I'm one of my favorite memories was well, bless him, it was James Yule. He slipped his rear foot off the block and he basically like landed on Tom. I was in his heat and I like turned and I kind of breathed over to I think it was a 200 free that we were doing. I kind of breathed over to his side. He's still at like 5 meters to go into the first turn, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? that
Yeah, it really set him back like 10 seconds.
Yeah, man, that's a funny memory. I remember when I saw the team when I was aware of Geary for the first time. They looked like a very professional and colourful and very happy to be their team. And I thought the pool that they train in must be very nice. And well, I was wrong there. There's 4 lanes in which the 2 outer lanes are actually wider than the 2 inner lanes. The shower area, I were you there when I think it was me, you, and Tom decided just to flood the changing area because the showers just flooded like the changing area.
Yeah, it could have been. I think so.
Yeah, it's not a very nice pool. It definitely goes into demolish it. Yeah, it
Definitely
goes
agree.
behind Banff into demolish it section. And I think that's every pool in the. Yep, that's every pool in the North District, and we'd now go into a section with pools in Scotland that are not in the North District. And the first pool that we must talk about is the Old Olympia pool. Have you ever been to that?
No.
All right. Well, there was a quote from I think it's the Courier. It is a popular, if far from pretty, Dundee landmark. It will soon make way for. They literally called it a popular, if far from pretty, landmark. Which I can understand why it was pretty, because there was a lot of fun stuff to do at that pool. They literally had a flume that you fly out of. That sounds cool.
Man, get this in the best pools.
No. Because all the bad stuff is unforgivable. Did you not hear like the pool was about as safe as Syria, and I mean, I don't know if you heard about the big scandal there. Um, it's pretty sad, really, because there was a uh, there was a there was a kid who didn't turn up home, and because he went to the Olympia, and his mum phoned the Olympia saying, "Yo, my kid went to the Olympia. Can you see if he's still there? He hasn't come home." And they looked around his mum turned up. They looked around the changing area and they found his changing area there. Then they decided that they'll remove the pool covers off the pool, and they found him dead in the pool.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's horrible. You can't I've watched some of the public swimming, and the lifeguards couldn't give a fuck less. Like when they were there. I mean, it's demolished now, and I have to say, rightly so. The pool was a horrifically ugly pool, I must say. Even the competition pool was pretty minging. It was a 6. It was all right to like swim in, but I hated it. It's not a nice pool at all. It definitely goes and demolish it, because even though there's some like very, very fun bits about it, like you can't really forgive the bad stuff. The bad stuff just is a no-no, really. That's why I put it in demolish it, please. And as I put that there is more pools to be demolished than in any other tier. So
to expand this tier.
yeah, man. The next pool, I've never actually been to it. Have you been to the new Olympia pool in
No,
Dundee?
I don't think I've swum in Dundee at all, to be honest.
The new one looks actually quite good. I haven't heard that much good stuff about it, and it has that flume where you fly out of it. I wanted to put it there because I thought I wasn't sure if you're spamming it or not. Fuck it, we'll put that in okay just to make the numbers. We'll put that in. We'll put that just behind Orkney. The good Orkney pool. What is the next pool? I'll look it up on my phone. The next pool is Kirkcaldy. Well, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say like one thing I remember about the Kirkcaldy pool is Graham Farmer storming it and winning, I don't know, like 3 gold medals.
I remember that.
Where he got the title of Golden Graham.
Yeah, man, Graham was on fire in that meet.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, pool probably not the greatest.
That pool was awful.
I also remember I think I got told off in the heats for looking at when I was in my turn.
Oh, right.
And then I did the final, and then I think Lorraine also said like, "Oh yeah, you're still looking," and I was like, "Oh, I had my eyes closed," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh man, you weren't looking.
Yeah.
I remember this pool being pretty bad, pretty damn bad. It must have been done up recently because I could not find any photos of it as the old Kirkcaldy pool. So it must have been done up recently because every picture I see of it, it looks really good nowadays. But back in the day, it was just a miserable place to be. It was a part of a shopping center, I remember.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah.
And I remember the changing area was redundant. We had like cubicles that were so low that people walking through the aisle can just look into the cubicle. I remember that happening to me, and I felt violated. Yeah, my mum actually, when I was making this list, said, "Did you put Kirkcaldy in this list?" It's the only evidence that I have of that pool today is there's a YouTube video of just some guy there's a YouTube video called "Swimming Pool at Kirkcaldy" or something like that. Some guy's just standing on the balcony, and he just simply gets up and jumps from the balcony into the pool, which sounds a lot less impressive than it was. It looks a lot less impressive than it was even, and the lifeguard's going, you're getting fucking done for that," and he's like, "Am I?"
This is on YouTube.
Somewhere on YouTube, yeah. It's like a video from 2007. So I think it's been done up since then, and it probably would be better than it was when we went. But we're putting it and demolish it. We're behind. Yeah, I'd say behind Inverurie. Behind Inverurie, ahead of the WMLC.
Yeah.
The next pool. Oh fuck! What am I doing? We'll go on Word. We'll see what the next pool is. Carnegie. The Carnegie pool. Have you been to that one?
No, not been to the Carnegie one. No.
But well, this is where I did that second dolphin leg kick breaststroke race, the one where I got DQ'd and everyone looked at me as if I was scum. It's an alright pool. I remember. Actually, you know what? Tom's son, Kevin's I think he trains there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he never competed at the meet, but he swims for Carnegie now, and he'll be there.
Fair. How old is he, Tom's son now?
He's 14 this year. Yeah, he swims for Carnegie. Well, I don't know if he still does. He swam for Carnegie, and it's an alright pool. I mean, there's like a swim down area that's not 25-meter pool, but it's an alright swim down area. We're told to sit around this swim down area. There's no space between swim down area, barely any room between swim down area and the actual seats that we're meant to swim in, and that usually causes a few problems when we're competing there. So that's probably the biggest downside to that pool. The walls are pretty slippy at each side too, which is not which is quite quite a downer, I'd say. Well, I'd put it in okay. Put it behind the new Dundee pool. So yeah, I'm gonna wonder how many of these pools coming up that you actually been to. Is this
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
me?
I think I've been to a few, maybe that you haven't as well. Like,
Yeah, that is true.
I'm sure we'll get to them. I'll mention a few ones. Maybe we can put in.
I need the photo for them though. It would have been good if you
Right.
could just supply me a photo, but I won't be able to do that. We can probably just
Yeah, we'll just talk about them.
we'll talk about them at the end, and then it'll probably be easier to talk about them in the end, so people can kind of visualize where it is.
Yeah.
The next one is interesting because it's the National Swimming Academy in Stirling, and this is quite this was quite a controversial one because right now it's just a building site just outside it, and it's on hold because of this whole situation. It is a 50-meter pool, which is 1 inch too short, if I'm correct. So you can't get a proper PB there. The changing area is all right, but none of the swimmers actually use it. They just kind of towel change in the
Technical area.
in the land room. Actually, it's in the land room. They just get changed in there, towel changing, and that's strange because I don't like towel changing. I don't like doing towel changing, and I don't particularly like it when other people do it either. So it's a good place to train. I don't know what to think of it because it's another place that I'm just not in love with. But and
I don't know. I've actually done a competition in there.
oh yeah, what did you think of it?
To be honest, it wasn't like too bad. Like it was mainly I don't know, won a few medals there. I don't know, we did like a few heats and finals. Like wasn't too bad. Like obviously it was a short course, so in terms of the meters, it wasn't like less or anything. Atmosphere, yeah, like maybe above average. Wasn't that great, but yeah, average pool.
Oh, right now it's like a building site just outside it, so it's not as pleasant as it has been. I think when it's done, it would be like up there, but right now it's being marked down because of that. Also, yeah, I'd say okay. At the very top of okay. What would you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Solid.
you'd agree. Cool.
Yeah.
The next one is the Peak, which I don't know if you swam in that or not, but that's also in Stirling. And have you ever been to a pool where it's nice and clean? Well, it looks nice and clean, but you just feel filthy.
Yeah, Kirkcaldy.
Oh man, yeah, that's kind of the feeling I get at the Peak. We trained there. When I was at my first season at Stirling, I trained there on Fridays, and I absolutely hated training there on Friday mornings. It's a 6-lane pool. It seems like it should be all right. Like it's like Callum. I remember speaking to Callum about it because he also trains there. Well, not trains there. He swims there every now and again. But he doesn't mind it that much. I think the changing area smells pretty bad. It looks clean, but it just smells bad. You don't know where the smell is coming from or whatever. It's also my memory of actually swimming in it. It's not a very nice pool to swim in. Seems like an all right facility overall, though.
Where are you gonna put it?
Not that good. I'm gonna put it ahead of Bucky. I think it deserves to go ahead of Bucky. Yeah, I think that's a fair enough place for that. The next pool is the Royal Commonwealth Pool
In Edinburgh.
in Edinburgh. It's surprised. I looked at all the pools in Edinburgh on like Bing because you can get a map up saying where all the swimming pools are. There are so many, and that's the only one I've been to. And like before it
Yeah, me
was
too.
what's up?
Yeah, that's the only one I've been to as well. I mean, it's a grand pool. Like they never really would need to have anything anywhere else, right?
Yeah, it's a big grand pool, but I don't think much of it. Like the only time I thought much of it was just after it got refurbished. But then for some reason, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not a big fan of it really. It's a big grand pool that I don't think much of. I'd think less of it than ESB. So it's
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think every time I was there, it was always long course, and I hated it.
you're
But
not a big fan of long course.
the pool, I don't know. The pool's just yeah, it's old, right? I mean, but before the refurbishment,
Before the
definitely.
refurbishment, it could have been demolished, man. I would say that, but it's a lot better now that it's being refurbished, and it's there's atmosphere there, but like you don't feel good. It's just not a very feel good pool.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It looks brand new. What? Also, something I'm a bit worried about is that you have to do ball slams on a mat because they're scared that they're going to break the floor. And this was just after it was refurbished, and you're wondering why they're so worried that the floor is going to break if it's brand new. I mean, it can't have been made that well. Yeah, I'm putting it at the very top of not that good. I'm not a big fan of it at all, really. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that pool. I've had good memories. Well, not that many good memories there when I come to think of it.
Actually, I won a pen instead of a medal there a few times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you go on to the medal presentation and they just give you a pen instead. So I think it was like East Coast districts, or something.
Oh, so yeah, I remember. Man, we've been there a few times. Yeah, I won my first Scottish age group championship there for 100 free. I remember Donny won a medal, like a gold. No, not he didn't win gold. He won Scottish championship, and for some reason Peter Peterson decided to rub my face in it, despite the fact I was like very happy about it. I was so happy for Donny, and then he was rubbing it in my face as if like I should be jealous about it. And then later on, I won that Scottish championship in a nice 100 free event. That was pretty awesome.
How was your time?
Back then, I think it was like 55.
Still solid.
I was solid back in the day. I was 14 or 15. I can't remember how old I was. 14. Yeah, I would have been. No, wait, hold on. 14. I would have been 14. Um, so the next one is Tallcross International Swim Centre.
That's definitely up there. One of my favorite.
It's definitely up there. I'd say the absolute worst. Well, there's a couple of things I'd mark it down for. Is its location, because its location is basically probably the worst place in Scotland, the east end of Glasgow. It's like you can fit like it's an awesome pool in an absolutely awful place, and also like there's always something broken somewhere in it, and they never think to fix it. I remember like going to a competition. There's a broken like uh, locker, like a locker that you put your clothes in. And I went away for 3 months until the next competition, and then that same locker is still broken. I also noticed that almost absolutely every toilet's there is pretty minging as well.
Mm.
But apart from those pretty two rather not very nice markdowns, I'd say it's great to good. I mean, it would be the best if it wasn't for those two pretty disgusting downs about it. I'd say great to good. Would you say it's better than ASV or below?
Yeah, I'd probably say better. Like I trained there for a while.
Oh
It
yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, it was mainly like training. It was short because I trained with City of Glasgow for a while.
All right.
No, solid pool. I think like atmosphere. I would love to have gone to some Commonwealth Games events in there. I thought the atmosphere in there would have been pretty electric.
I heard the atmosphere was electric then.
But it was kind of stupid. I remember they had that big black curtain around, like, it has like a decent 25-meter swim down pool and decent sized pool. Yeah, like I would almost say that it's in the best. Like if we're gonna have, it's definitely in my top 10.
Yeah, I'll put it in the best because there's only two in the best at the moment. But out of the top three, if that's in the top three, it's number 3.
Yep.
What's the next pool? The next pool is it's the swimming pool in Johnson where we did the Ren 96 meets. What is that one called? You've trained there, haven't you?
The one in Nielsen.
Nielsen. So that's what it's called.
It's the one in Nielsen.
Nielsen.
I think.
All right. I thought it was Johnson and it was in.
I don't know that we trained at 2 different pools when I swam there.
All right.
The one that we did. I've been in like there's another one in Linwood, so like maybe 3 or 4 pools when I trained there.
I noticed that there was a few pools there. I couldn't remember which one it was. I remember that pool not being that great either. What would you think?
I'm trying to remember which one it is.
Were you at those meets when we went to the Ren 96 meets with Delton?
No, I don't think so. But I trained with Ren 96 for a year. I ended up going to like the Linwood pool. Then they had one in Johnston, one in Nielsen. But yeah, they're all pretty average pools.
I think it's the one in Johnston. Oh yeah, you know Mary High.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was training with Mary High for a while at Stirling, and I think we were just randomly like talking about Shetland. She's like, "Oh yeah, do you know Jake Swanson?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's like one of my best friends," and she could not get over it. She just didn't know that we were like associated with each other at all. She just thought that we were just some 2 different people from Shetland.
Yeah, doesn't she know that everyone in Shetland knows everyone?
Yeah, basically. See, if someone doesn't know you, you are basically a no one. If everybody knows you but one person, you're basically no one.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you think it would? It was the. This was a pool.
Somewhere like in the mid region, I guess.
I had some good memories there. I remember winning well over £125 at a competition. So that.
Yeah, true. It was a money competition.
What's that?
I forgot it was the money competition.
Yeah, the money competition. Did you go to the money competition?
No.
I didn't think it was a very nice pool. I can't remember where I should put it. I don't think it's not nice. It's either okay or not that good. It doesn't deserve to be demolished. I think it's not as good as Fraserburgh, so I'll put it in not that good. Yeah. So next one is the Dolan Aquatic Centre or whatever it's called. Do you know the one from East Kilbride?
No, not swum there.
There's a 50-meter pool at East Kilbride called, I think it's the Dolan Aquatic Centre or whatever. And I only went there once, and it wasn't. It is slow as hell. And it's one of the slowest pools I've ever been to. It's like I remember doing a 200 IM, and I think I went like 216, and I won it. And it was considered pretty fast, being that my PB at the time was like a 210.
Just like everyone adds on 5 seconds when they do that.
Yeah. And there was a boy going, yeah, this is my last chance to get Scottish age group records and all that stuff. And we're like, everyone's like, you're not going to get it here. It has a weird boom as well, one that goes, it's like a flappy one rather than one that goes up and down, or from one side to the other side. It's like both at, it kind of comes, like, how do I describe it? Kind of goes in angles, so it kind of folds into the side. I remember that, and I don't remember it being particularly pretty either. It's not a nice pool. Yeah, I'd put it in demolish it. Yeah, just ahead of the old Dundee pool. Cool, right? I think that's all the ones in Scotland that I came. Oh no, there's a few more.
How many more?
Fuck, how many more do we have? 1, 2, 3. There's 3 from Scotland, then there's 4 from England and Wales. Then there's 6 from abroad, and the Island Games ones, there's 8 from the Island Games ones, including ones that we trained at that I actually remember.
It's getting exciting.
It's getting exciting. There's going to be some good ones and some shit ones. So the next pool is North Ayrshire in Largs. I think it's in Largs. I can't remember where it was. All I remember is where the North Ayrshire swim team train at, and we had a competition there. Because we went there because Edinburgh International was cancelled that year, and we for some reason were just not welcome. We were not welcome. People were like, "Yo, you're only here because Edinburgh International is cancelled, aren't you?" And we're like, "Well, yeah." So we were not welcome. People, there was like, you know how there's unwritten rules about where to sit on poolside?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, people were just breaking that as if it never mattered, and I didn't like the pool at all. I think the changing area might actually be one of the worst. It was like a ruin. It's like, yeah, it felt like a ruin, really. I remember that, people fannying about in the land room. Yeah, all I can say about that pool, and I think everyone that went with me to that meet would agree that that goes in the bottom tier. Probably, I'd say behind Peterhead. Fuck it, I'd win it. No, is it ahead? Nah, I'm putting it behind Kirkwall. It was that ugly and bad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you weren't there, so you can't really say anything about it. It's a shame. The next pool is the one in Ayr that we went to. I don't know if you were at that one. That was another money meet. Where,
oh man, I missed all these money meets.
I know, right? You are pretty unlucky. This is a really nice pool. The one in actual Ayr, not North Ayr. Sure, just there's one in Ayr that we went to. I think it's called the Maryball pool. I remember that pool and the whole facility being really nice. I actually turned up to that meet feeling very sick, well, coughing and being wheezy and all that. And my mum was thinking of pulling me out of every race, but there was money to be won. So the first race we did was a 400 free, and I basically paced it until the last 100 where I pushed it on and I managed to win it. And somehow I remember winning absolutely every race that I could. So I won fucking loads of money.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that was a good memory. And then what else? I remember that "Call Me Maybe" was very popular, and that's all we heard. Yeah,
The whole time.
yeah. I'm putting it in great to good. We won't talk about it that much because it's not that interesting when you haven't been. And the John Smith Memorial Pool. Were you there when we went to New Lanark?
Nah.
This was a complete. That was a strange. That was a strange trip. This trip happened just after we found out Tom was going to be a father, and so that was ages ago. That's a long time ago. And we went to a place we went to the New Lan. You know what New Lanark is?
Well, no. I mean, North Lanarkshire's a county, right?
No, there's a place called New Lanark, which is basically like a history old industry place. It's very interesting. We stayed there, and there was a lot of stuff to do there. I remember trying to make my bed on a top bunk, and there was a shelf that I kind of leant on as I was making it, and I fell off the bed because that collapsed. Fell off. Everyone was worried, but I got up. It didn't hurt or anything, but I got up, and I'm like, "Don't tell mum." Graham was there. He just decided to run out the room. Apparently, he went up to my mum and Graham Southern. He said, "Felix has gone mental and wrecking the place." He didn't know. He thought I was just wrecking the place. So that was a good memory. That was when we also had a horrific experience at Weatherspoons where it took 2 hours to get served and everyone got the wrong stuff and shit.
That sounds like a classic experience in Wetherspoons.
Yeah, that's a classic experience. Yeah, I was scared of to go into Weatherspoons since. You had to trick me to go into. The only reason you would go into now is cheap drinks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't drink very much anymore anyway, so it's not. It's not that. I remember that the competition that we went to was pretty crap. There was I remember they were really iffy about shoes. You had to take shoes onto poolside, and then you have to put your shoes on just as after you swim and walk up the stairs to the wherever you meet your team. And my member Max, he had no shoes on. He managed to get into the stairwell on the bottom, and then he went to the top, and he wasn't allowed to go into the top until he put his shoes on. So he went to the bottom again, and then they said again, "You're not allowed onto the bottom without your shoes on." So he was stuck in the stairs.
I think I remember. I remember this story definitely.
Yeah, it's not a very nice pool. I'm putting it in. Not that good. There's quite a lot. This is quite one-sided. There's a lot more not that good pools than there are nice pools. I hope that changes.
We've got Island Games coming up.
Oh yeah. So that's all the Scottish pools, and there's only 4. Strangely, there's only 4 pools from England and Wales that I've been to. And I know you've been to Sunderland.
Yeah.
That is that was strange because we had Scottish championships in England.
I think like both the pools were shut or had something on.
Yeah, exactly. I think they were both being refurbished, but this was the time when Glasgow, they were getting refurbished but didn't really do anything. And then they closed down again when they did everything. And then
wasn't it for the Commonwealth Games?
It was for the Commonwealth Games, yeah, but I remember they shut for a while to refurbish it, and then when they opened, nothing seems to have changed. And then I remember them shutting again when they actually did everything. Anyway, this is Sunderland. I remember one of my best memories. Well, I went there twice. One of them was for UK school games, which, to be honest, it was probably. I went to UK school games twice, and this was probably the one that I enjoyed lesser of the two. And then we went there for Scottish Championships, where my best memory was we had a strangely tense conversation with a woman about the pronunciation of Primark. Or Primark. I mean, after that, I've been calling it basically Primark ever since because she was so scary. We were like, "Oh, can you tell us where the Primark is?" "Well, Primark."
I don't remember that. No.
You don't remember that?
The only thing I remember that I was like, "Oh, this is the last long course championship I'm doing." I absolutely hated it.
Oh,
it didn't hit many PBs. It wasn't a good time.
There was also a bug going around when we were there. I remember that. There was a bug that I think they found out it was caused by the water fountains, and they closed the water fountains, but thankfully we weren't using it. I remember most of Coast were using it. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember something about that for sure.
I think the rest of the that it's an alright pool. I think the actual foyer is quite nice. I don't think it deserves to go in great to good. I just think it goes in okay. I'm going to put it ahead of Dundee and behind Stirling. Ahead of Stirling. It deserves to go ahead of Stirling. Yeah, there we go. The next pool is Pond's Forge. Have you been to Pond's Forge?
Yeah, Sheffield.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of Pond's Forge?
Yeah, it's a great arena. Like, I remember just walking in and almost in awe. Like, it's a very nice. Almost like if you could mix it with, let's say, Tall Cross and the one next to the Asheville in Aberdeen, like kind of a mix of that. That's what I would say.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
it's a solid pool. Like, it's atmosphere. I mean, yeah, it's quite big. It's again, keep referring back to the dome.
Yeah, it's quite big. You can get atmosphere there. One thing, like the Sheffield is not a very nice place. It's kind of in a really crappy part of Sheffield. You kind of walk through. You kind of have to walk through like pretty places. We have to walk by junkies to get there, basically. You kind of feel a bit sicker getting there. I remember Ross Murdoch going to Sheffield and you get the Sheffield shits. And again, this is another place where the toilets are not that nice. The toilets are not that nice, and the place is pretty dirty, really. But apart from that, it's a really nice pool. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put it in great to good, and I'm going to put it ahead of ASV because it gets a lot better atmosphere than ASV, and that probably matters more.
Yeah, definitely, man.
All right, the next one is Crystal Palace. And, fuck, do I have a picture for Crystal Palace? I don't think I do, shit. Which one is Crystal Palace? Oh, yeah, that one. You never went to Crystal Palace.
No.
Yeah, I only went there once, and it was bizarre because, like, it was meant to be one of my last competitions with my mum as a coach, and like main coach, and she wanted to just take me to her old stomping grounds when she was a part of the English Academy of Swimming, and she said it has it's basically the exact same, but they just added new stuff. It was still old, and not only that, there were just birds flying all over the place.
In the pool?
Yeah, in the pool area, there were birds flying all over the place. But I did like it, even though it was a slow pool, and it wasn't that. It was it was in a very, very pleasant part of Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is apparently not a very nice place, but the actual park of the palace part of Crystal Palace is like really nice. But the pool, like, it's so old and they haven't done much with it. They just kind of added things so it looked like an old person who's trying to dress new. And I remember talking to Gordon about it, and he's like talking about how there were birds flying about when he was swimming, and I was like, "Fuck, that's been going on for that long."
That's ridiculous.
That is mad. Yeah, I can't put that any higher than demolish it. I'd put it ahead of the Dome. Yeah, there we go. It's an interesting pool, that one. And the last one in this section is the Swansea pool, which I went in there once for my UK school games, my first one. Did you go there?
I think I've maybe been there. Hold on, I'll give it a quick
You went
Google.
somewhere around there, I remember, you were telling me about it, but I can't remember which one you went to.
It was the national pool in Swansea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there. It was also with Triple S. We had like the Celtic Tri-Nations. So like
yeah,
Wales,
yeah. You were telling me about that, yeah. Same
Wales,
pool.
Ireland, and Scotland. Yeah, same pool. Like there wasn't like so much people. I think it was during the day our competition, so the atmosphere was pretty terrible. But yeah, I would say like above average. But like the only thing I would say about the pool, it has quite an awesome flumes and kind of like a play park in the other side of it. Did you check that out?
No, we didn't check that out. I was
Uh,
there with Scottish youth team, and they're all like, they wouldn't let us do anything like that. I had good crack there. I swam pretty well there. I think it's fairly fast. It's all I remember. Yeah, it was good. I just remember having a good time there. Yeah, I'd put it in great to good, but I'm gonna put that there. There we go. Behind West Hill. Do you think that deserves to go behind West Hill?
I would say above. Like for me, like we finished the competition, we were on the flumes for like an hour. It was almost
Ahead
like
of
the best part.
Clickerman?
Mm, nah.
Nah,
It's close.
okay.
It's a close one.
Close one. Nah. All right. The next section is pools that I've been abroad to. I don't think you've been to any of these, apart from maybe the Irish one. I don't think you told me you didn't go to that one. This will be a weird part because I don't think you've been to any of these. The first one in this one is the Best International Training Center, which if you've been to this is quite a famous training pool. It's a hot weather outside pool. Basically, not it's in Mallorca, but not in Magaluf. But apparently, that town was a bit of a party town anyway. We had basically the Britain's fastest sprinters there with us. Not with us, but they were there while we were there. We had
Ah, right, okay.
Liam Tancock was there and Fran Halsall, and I actually helped Fran Halsall with her land training, which was that was pretty surreal experience because she was one of the fastest in the world at the time. So
Yeah.
nowadays I train in the same team as Duncan Scott, so it's not quite as surreal now. But Duncan Scott is just a guy to me who just so happens to be one of the fastest in the world. So that's a bit weird when you come and think of it, because like I would think of those as awesome, great swimmers, probably because I don't know them that well. But then you get Duncan Scott, and then he's like probably the best in Britain, and yeah, like you already know him quite well on a friendly basis. So that's weird to think about.
Yeah, he's a solid swimmer, especially what he did at the Worlds.
Oh yeah, you became basically the hero of the world.
Yeah, especially now
Yeah.
with it coming out.
I don't think the one in Mallorca is in the best. I think it's either great to good or okay. I enjoyed that trip I went to, but despite the fact that everybody on the team, whether they were involved in that problem or not, they got in trouble. Uh, I don't know if you heard about that. That was a big scandal.
No.
This was when uh, I don't know. Everyone was shagging. Well, I wasn't. There was like 3 members of the team that weren't shagging, and that were there, and we all got in trouble because apparently, I think Gordon suspected that some of us knew more than we were saying, and I got to be honest, I heard stuff was happening, but I didn't actually think it was genuinely happening. I thought it was a joke. I was pretty oblivious to it, really. Um, it was all right. It was good. Yeah, you know what? I'm putting it at the bottom of great to good. Actually, it deserves to go higher than West Hill. Yeah, there we go. And then the next one is another one you've probably the top tier top training at Tenerife. Have you heard of that place?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Obviously, never been, but yeah, it's
What What do you know about it?
well, it's just a training camp in Tenerife. I've seen like kind of some of the top swimmers go there, or like a club will go there
Oh
for
yeah,
a week.
it's awesome. There's a rolling pool, a flowing flume pool that is a very nifty bit of tech that that's awesome, and I think that's very cool. There was a jacuzzi there that I remember going to. Actually, I have to put that in the best. But I'm putting that by. I don't like it as much as NMLC or Tallcross. Really, that's going in the best. What's the next one? Bolzano. Now this is a. Have you heard of Bolzano?
No, where's that at?
That's in the north of Italy, in the Italian Alps. It's basically half Italy, half Germany, but all of it in Italy.
Nice.
It's weird. That's weird. Though it's a very nice area. It's one of the most richest areas in Europe. It seems like a completely random place that holds this absolutely huge competition. With some of the most famous, like Ryan Lochte was at this competition in the middle of nowhere. It's got all these famous swimmers going to it, and that's a very nice pool too. Not much changing area. I remember that. There's not much changing area, and the pool was definitely way too small for the competition. But the atmosphere that you got was mental.
You did a competition there, or was it a training camp?
It was a competition. It felt like a training camp because we didn't really think much of the competition, and we always used to go out until the very last year. We used to go out afterwards every time. I was thinking of putting it in the best, but considering that the competition is definitely too big for the pool, I'm putting it in great to good ahead of Pond's Forge. It's an awesome pool. Obviously you haven't been to it, so it's a bit hard to explain it to you. And the next pool is Genoa, which we thought was going to be like long course, like Bolzano was short course. We thought Genoa was going to be like long course Bolzano, and it was not. Genoa at the time was the heroin capital of Europe, from what I heard. And the pool that we went to was strange because it felt old. There's like a glass between the seating area and the pool, which most of the glass was missing. And we seemed to be the best. Seemed to be like the best team there. And everybody, because we seemed to be the only foreign team there as well, everybody wanted to swap cap with us. And there were some very interesting caps. There was a pink cap with a McDonald's sign on it. They must have been sponsored by McDonald's, and that's the one we all wanted. I swapped a FS3 cap for that hat. And it was
Who still got it?
I think it broke, actually. I think it ripped. I was devastated. Yeah, I remember it ripped. I was devastated. I think we all had one of those. I also remember we went into town where there was a place where the drinks were mega expensive, but it came with free dinner. That's and I had 2 drinks because Gordon didn't like his. So I have to put that in not that good. There. I think the Royal Commonwealth pool is both better than the Wren. There we go. It's not as good as ahead of Bonaccord. The Ireland National Aquatic Centre. You just told me that you haven't been there before we started recording.
Yeah, no, not been there. Although I would like to go. Actually, I would love to go.
It's quite nice. I've been there twice. The first time was that was with the Scottish schools team. It was Wise, not UK School Games, and Wales didn't go. So all you had to do is come like top 3 out of 6 to win and win a medal. And I got 3 medals for Scotland, so that's pretty cool to say. Actually, I got 4 medals. I think I got a silver in one of the relays, and then I got 100 free, 100 fly, and another relay. But then there was only 3 relay teams, so all you had to do was not get disqualified to win a medal.
Solid.
It's a good pool, but again, it's like ASV. It doesn't. Well, the atmosphere is not that great. It reminds me a lot about Pond's Forge. It's almost kind of like the same layout. Yeah, and I imagine, and I don't. There's not very much changing area as well. And I remember the second time I was there, it was a bit bizarre because, obviously you weren't allowed to get changed on in the balconies. I understood that, but I took my t-shirt off, and well, actually no, I put my t-shirt on. I got told off by a lifeguard because I put my t-shirt on. That was a
That's
bizarre.
bizarre.
Yeah. So I also remember the first time I've been there, we had to do group changing in the tiniest group changing there was, and I'd put that in great to good, ahead of ASV but behind Pond's Forge. Whatever pool is there. The last pool is this one's I don't know what to say about this one because this is the Peter van den Hoogenband pool in Eindhoven. Yeah, I don't know if you know anything about that.
No.
This one just goes in the best, but I don't know where in the best. This pool is gorgeous. Like, it's a gorgeous pool where lighting, you can have a lighting show. It was a fast pool. It's literally got Peter van den Hoogenband's light up autograph on one of the walls, which is really, really cool. And yeah, that definitely goes in the best tier, but I don't know where. It's definitely better than Tall Cross. But I don't it goes ahead.
Even from your description, I would take your word for it.
Yeah. I'll put it ahead of NMLC, but I don't know about the Aquadome. You know what? Great atmosphere. It's long course. It's very fast pool. I found it weird that it's quite a hard place to find yourself around. I remember that. And being that it's in the Netherlands, everybody, like not everybody, but loads of people do actually smoke dope in public. And that's something that concerned me while I was there because obviously you don't want to be caught with dope in your system. And you don't want any cross-contamination and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, true, for doping. Did you ever actually get dope checked?
I never have, actually. Never have. I remember supposedly Callum McGregor got dope checked in for Island Games, but
Which Island Games?
I don't know. I've never been dope checked. Have you ever been dope checked?
Nah.
Yeah, I was hearing that all different kinds of people at Island Games were being done. No, not done, but dope checked. I don't know how much of that is true because it was coming from people I wasn't sure how that is, how they knew. Damn, that pool is awesome, but I don't know where to put it in the top tier because it's an awesome pool. They had toilets in very strange places. I remember that. You'd be walking down a corridor, like just a normal like kind of corridor, and then you have kind of toilets on the side. It's not like a toilets area. It's just a corridor, and then there's suddenly toilets just on the side. I remember that. I felt awkward taking a dump in one of those. It's I remember that. I'd mark it down for that, actually, yeah. That was just bizarre. But apart from that, it's probably one of the best pools I've ever been to. Yeah, I'll put it second best behind the Aquadome. I kind of wish you went to that so you can, agree with me or not.
Yeah. Sounds good though.
It was one of the best pools I've ever been to. So now we go to the last section, which is the Island Games pool.
Yes.
And the first one that we've ever competed at was at Åland, which my main memory was when we were doing the opening ceremony for the swimming. I was so excited, and then I threw up in front of everybody. I did my swim, and I did a PB, and I got into the final for the 200 fly, and then by lunchtime I was in hospital because I was so sick. That was my main memory from Island Games, from my first Island Games.
But you swam the final?
No, I didn't. I could not swim the final to save my life. I was in really bad shape. Tom actually was reserve, and he swam the final. So,
team player.
Team player, yeah. He was. So it was a good thing he was reserve. Certainly got at least one reserve in that final. I remember. I think this is the only pool I've been to where they cleaned the pool with salt rather than chlorine.
Oh yeah, I remember. Jessica said.
Yeah.
She said it wasn't that great swimming.
I got some PBs in it. It was the first pool where I went under 2 minutes for 200 free. That was the day after I was sick.
Must have been losing a bit of weight and you're a bit quicker.
Lost all the weight and then just swam. It wasn't my favorite pool. We actually trained at a pool when it was all over, and I thought it was better and a nicer pool. I can understand why they went to this pool, and there was a genuine reason why they went to this pool rather than the pool in Mariehamn, because I can't remember what it was, because I remember the Åland team spoke about it at Gibraltar with me. I'll put it in okay. Where would it go? It goes ahead of Scalloway and Sandwick, but behind Carnegie. But the pool that we trained at, which is called the Maribad, the thing about that, the strange thing, I can remember what the pool that we trained at was called, but not the actual competition pool that we went to. It took me ages to find out what that pool was actually called. It was called the Idrott Centre. So
how many pools did you swim at when you were in Åland?
Just 2. There was one, the competition pool, which was in a random kind of town. We were actually, what was off about Åland was we were at a place which would be good for a holiday, but the logistics of actually getting anywhere was fucking hard. I mean, we were meant to take a bus route that didn't exist, and we were in the middle of nowhere, and I wasn't the only person that got sick as well, so.
No, the whole team was sick.
Yeah, the whole team was sick. That sucked. So, anyway, here's the Maribad, which is the other pool, and in fact, I can actually remember the Maribad more than the actual competition pool. That's a bit weird. I put that in great to good because it definitely, compared to the pool we competed at, it was a nicer pool. So we put it in great to good. I'll put that in great to good. Now, the next pool is Isle of Wight, and I actually somehow by chance found the pool that we trained in just before we actually went to the competition pool. Do you remember that pool?
I don't think so.
We trained at this absolute crap pool. My main memory from this is that I was having heart palpitations while I was there. There was way too much chlorine, and you and Craig were trying to get a relay takeover right, and you just could not get it right. And I think you and Craig just wanted to quit, and me and Callum were like, "No, you got to get it right. You got to get it right. We're not leaving until we get it right." And you got it right once, and we're like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was difficult. We were like, "Oh, we've come all the way here, and we can't even do this."
Yeah, that was that pool sucked. So I'm putting that on the demolish it, please. I do remember that I took a kickboard from that place, and I kept that kickboard for longer than anywhere else. Like, the kickboard I have now, I've had for nearly 4 years, but I've had the kickboard I just took from there for longer. I used it as a placemat for a while. The actual competition pool we went to, what do you remember of that?
To be honest, not fond memories. Like, it was quite quite a small one. Like
It was quite
in terms,
small.
like of course, atmosphere is like unreal, but
Oh, the atmosphere was great. I remember that.
it's just the overall like size of the pool. I remember this just being like a little bit difficult. Wasn't it like only? Well, I mean, it was 6 lanes, but that's kind of to be expected. And
Yeah.
nah, to be honest, not a big fan. Very average pool, I would say.
It was very average, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I wouldn't say demolish it, please, because I mean, we got like good memories from it, but not. It's not from the pool. It's from merely the banter. Mainly your great banter. I'm putting it. Where shall I put it? I'm gonna put it ahead of the peak, but behind. Nope. I'm gonna. Yeah, behind Genoa, but ahead of Bonnecourt Baths. Yeah, your banter was on fire. I remember. There was so much classic Jake's quotes, including the all time best. Why are the girls doing so well and the guys aren't? Something like that. Was it? What was he said?
It still haunts me, to be honest, to this day. What I said.
It doesn't. It shouldn't haunt
I got
you.
a lot of stick from it. Yeah, I mean, I basically said, yeah, I mean, we're swimming against like world champions, and they're swimming against 12-year-olds.
Yeah, it was. That was a classic quote. What made me laugh about it was that 3 out of 4 of us in that relay team would have said the same thing, but you said it better than anyone else. So yeah, I remember like the first person that actually said that within our team was Amy Harper. So you can't be too upset by us by saying that. But
yeah,
I remember.
Well, saying it on the radio to the whole island, maybe it was not the greatest idea.
The guy was being a dick, though. I don't know who it was. He was being a dick. That was a dick question to ask.
I mean, like, what else am I meant to say?
The relay. Also, the guys' relay team was doing a lot better than the girls' relay team at that competition. So it was a bit of an unfair question to ask, but you gave a legendary answer. I never actually heard the return of that, but
yeah. Apparently, like my mum said, she listened to it and then she was just like, "Oh no, why has he said that?" And then I came on the radio the next night, and on the radio the next evening, they were like, "So, like, any backlash from your comments last night, Jake?"
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, "No, like everything's fine at the camp." And then everyone was asking me that didn't listen to the previous evening, like, "What did you say?"
I was that was a classic. There was another classic where we were just about to get into a relay. I think it was Ian Powell of Guernsey. He said, "All right, boys, let's go," and then you said, "All right, men, let's go" to us.
Yeah. Oh, that's so easy to wind those guys up.
Oh, and also release the beast, Andrea.
Oh, okay. Oh, this was annoying from the Isle of Wight. They screamed it like every race.
Every race they were like, "Release the beast," and then you just said, "Release the beast, Andrea," and they looked at you as if you just said the N word to them.
What an idiot!
I remember like the parties at that meet was pretty good as well. Like, you kind of judge an island games from their parties, and I'd say actually all Ireland had really good parties. Like we should have mentioned that earlier. Like that was when Tom was absolutely on form.
He's never not on form, that man.
Yeah. Our first party at Åland was at the Maribad pool, just like rather ironically, and it was on a beach. That was a really cool party. And then there was another party where my main memories, apart from Tom Rakes being on form, was being thrown out of a toilet by a lesbian. So, and then the parties, they had a party at that pool where yeah, that was a good party. We had a good blast in a tent. I remember the overall party at that meet was, well, I wasn't even there. I remember we turned back up, and you were absolutely Oh man, you look like you were having the time of your life. And then Peter Peterson just decided to tell you off. You just looked at him, it's like, who the fuck are you two? Tell me off.
Yeah, no, that wasn't one of my finer moments for sure. But
You looked like you
the whole party was great. Like the whole Isle of Wight closing Summers party was great.
Another
Can't
memory I
complain.
had from that party was when I was on the loo, and this was when Rhodes and Guernsey basically had a massive fight at the football, and that was a big scandal. And Rhodes got banned from playing football, and then obviously, met um, one of the Rhodes footballers met one of the Guernsey footballers in the bathroom, and it was like, "You're the one that spat in my face!" And all you can see is him banging on my door, and I'm like on the loo going, "Oh, please don't burst in!" Oh man, what a classic! That was a classic party. Um, so we basically go from the Isle of Wight to Bermuda. Now,
Bermuda.
without a doubt, this pool goes in the top tier.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
that goes ahead of fuck. Um, would you say better than Inverness or not as good as Inverness?
Oh yeah, I would put it almost at my number one.
I'd have to say it's my number one too. For an outdoor pool, how do you get an atmosphere so good? Yeah, I
You
remember
just
the
you add in some thunder and lightning, and there you go.
thunder and lightning. Yeah, the thunder and lightning where I was a bit annoyed because they had to take us out the pool and I was doing a fairly hard set and I had 100 to go and they had to take me out because the thunder and lightning were too close.
That was just a great pool, great event,
Great.
and I would say my best memory of that one is qualifying fastest for the 4x53.
Oh, that was classic. We
And then
qualified.
we were like, oh, there's a medal in the bag here, boys. Like we've done it. And then fourth in the relay in the final. They're like, oh, how is this possible?
They just
Every,
changed all their swimmers.
yeah, everyone just switches up their team, and I think we still like went even faster in the final.
Mm-hmm. Right, we were fourth, but we were pretty disappointed with it. Mm. Yeah, I remember that whole trip was an absolute that was a part like this was a, the complete opposite of Gotland really, where everything was awesome apart from the parties. The parties were a bit lackluster. I remember that. I have only fond memories of Bermuda. Um, I that we were staying at a school with inflatable mattresses, big inflatable
Oh,
mattresses.
this was horrible. What was going on there?
Oh man, and we had to share a room between the eight of us, and we got in trouble because we decided to scream boom 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 boom. I don't know why we why we decided to do that. It was great. I also remember this is one of my most smug moments was when everybody but me kind of went to the beach without putting sun cream on, and I had to train, and I didn't put sun cream on either, and everybody turned back up to the beach from the beach completely red, especially Callum. He was redder than Zoidberg, and
I remember he just kept putting sun cream on like every 5 minutes, literally. And I remember we were on the plane going home, and he whips out a bottle of After Sun on the plane, and I mean, me and Gregor were like in tears next to him.
oh, that was a great competition, and then we go to one I don't think fondly of for obvious reasons. This is Jersey, and if you know me, you know that I don't like Jersey.
What would you say about the pool, though?
I wasn't very impressed by it, if I'm honest, despite it being 8 lanes. I do remember I think the lanes were narrower than they were supposed to be. And
Yeah, I mean, definitely better than like the Isle of Wight pool,
oh
but
yeah, I'd say that.
still, yeah, pretty average.
They had a swim down bit at least. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
and then they had yeah, when then the parties where I died. Uh, Yeah, and do you even know what happened? Like 2 years later,
No, not really.
the guy who, well, I'll say this to everybody in that doesn't know. We had you have like nights out where you have a party after the swimming party and a overall party, and we basically went out with all the swimmers to this club. I remember it's called Mimosa, and I remember somebody who wasn't supposed to be there was there. I told the bartender that this guy was underage, and then they kicked me out for some reason. And shortly after they kicked me out, I got jumped. And, well, I don't actually remember being jumped, but I woke up in an ambulance being told that I was under arrest for assault. So I thought I did something really stupid. Uh, and then I don't remember much of that night, but apparently I was going backwards and forwards from hospital to the police station. But they did say that I was completely not in the wrong, but through CCTV. Um, basically, what else can I say? Basically, they said to the guy that did it, "Oh, the police station closes on the weekend. You're gonna have to come back on Monday." He's like, "Yeah, that's fine," and he fucking escaped the country. Do you know about that? Did I tell you
No, I
about that?
didn't. No, I didn't know about that. No.
He escaped the country and then he turned back up like 2 years later, 2.5 years later, and they arrested him then. And then I was getting phone calls saying, "Yo, do you remember that guy who assaulted you? Yeah, he just finally turned up at," because they never told me anything for like 2 years. I thought they completely forgot about me, and and then they're saying, "Yo, this guy who's escaped the country for 2 years and he assaulted you." Basically, I blamed him for ruining 3 years of my life because I couldn't really do uni very well. I had to go back to first year at Stirling. Well, I was at Aberdeen and then I went straight to first year at Stirling because I really couldn't do anything. And then, anyway, I get all these. I had to be questioned again and everything. And the guy, he only got 6 months. So that sucked.
Yeah, but at least he got some time at the end, and he was caught. I think
Yeah, well,
that's
that was 3 years of my life that way. I kind of got set back because of that. And then
fair.
he escaped the country for 2 years. So I expect a minimum of 3 years. And they just give him 6 months. And that feels a bit like they don't really value their um, guests very well. So, well.
Yeah, true. But
Anyway,
sure.
I'm
Where are we
talking.
putting Jersey then? Let's move on.
Yeah, we'll put it on. We're putting it in not that great. I'll put it ahead of the John Smith place, behind that the what you call it, um what you call it, fuck, whatever, the Royal Commonwealth Pool. Anyway, the next one is Scotland, and for some reason the picture's not here because there's not very many pools left, and Scotland is the worst pool I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, it was so bad we almost boycotted. I mean, man, that pool sucked.
5 lanes.
5 lanes. A shelf fell on me. A bloody shelf fell on me and it broke my finger. The pool wasn't very quick, really. I mean, I got a PB or two there, but the pool was not very quick at all. At least they had kind of. No, they didn't have up-to-date blocks. The blocks were out of date. Basically, the only thing that was up to date was the scoreboard. There wasn't very much space in Gotland. Wow, man, that definitely goes in the bin. But for some reason, the picture for Gotland doesn't seem to be here. I think this is. We'll just pretend that Stromness is Gotland, and we'll put it in the absolute bottom. What annoyed me was that they actually had an 8-lane, 25-meter pool that they could have used, but they didn't use it. they didn't do it up or use it or anything because they said they were going to use basketball thing more. It was either going to be basketball or swimming, and they chose basketball. So we had to swim in this shit pool that was a school pool. So well, it was even worse than bloody Yorkney, I'd say. I actually
Really?
remember going into Gotland where we were watching a video about all the facilities, and there was the facility, the main guy, I think it was, for the swimming. He was basically not encouraging parents to turn up. They didn't think there would be enough space for them. That's how bad it was, really. So
That's mad.
yeah, that sucked. So, but the parties there were good. Best parties I've ever been to. So
That's the important thing.
yeah. So the last pool on this list is Gibraltar. Um, Hilariously, this pool wasn't even finished, and it was, I mean, it killed Gotland. I mean, the pool was awesome. I wouldn't say it's in the best tier, actually. I'd say it's at the very top of great to good. Um, like, it was meant to have a roof, but they couldn't make the roof on time, but that probably worked to its favor. Even though the
Oh,
weather
so
wasn't
it
great.
was an outdoor pool then.
It was an outdoor pool, yeah. Um, yeah,
50 meter with a boom, or how did
it
it
was
work?
50-meter with a boom, yeah.
Fair.
The monkeys watched us. Yeah, there were monkeys at Gibraltar. It just gets to do whatever they want, so they got to watch us. It was great. That was good. I mean, you know
That's
what?
definitely got to take up the rankings then if a few monkeys have been there.
It goes in the best. In fact, it should be ahead of Tenerife. My mum's saying good night to me.
Night, Jake.
Night, Lorraine.
My favourite swimmer.
Hey. So that's yeah, it was good. It was a weird competition. No, not a weird competition. It was a weird trip because we all expected Gibraltar to be awesome, but the parties were quite lackluster, really. I mean, the swimmers' party was good. The party at the end was very lackluster, and I was very disappointed with it. So, the pool was quite nice, despite it not being. It was very nice, and it was very well run, actually. And yeah, I can't say that much bad stuff about it. Yeah,
Fair. No, it looks solid. I'm just looking at a picture of it now. Looks good.
yeah.
What's your plans then? Guarantee 2021, Felix?
Oh, well, might as well make an announcement. I don't know. I had actually no intention of doing another Island Games for Shetland. Um, for a few reasons, really. I mean, I haven't been swimming well for 2 years. Obviously, some people might already know I've going to do a masters, but I don't know if I'm going to continue swimming. Probably because I'm not really enjoying it, and I was having a coach. I'm not being coached by the coach that I enjoyed being coached by at Stirling, because something. So I don't know what's going on. It's up in the air, but all I know is that probably, because my conditional is so easy, it looks very likely that I'll be actually getting in to do a masters. But whether I'll
Okay.
actually be swimming or not is that's a big question mark. It looks like I probably won't be swimming at Guernsey, and also I doubt it would be that much fun either.
Yeah, just looking at the pool now, and I mean, no, I know we're talking about pools, but it doesn't look that great to be honest. The Guernsey one, it looks. It's just like it's like a massive pool, and they've just made lanes on it.
Oh
It just
yeah.
looks awful, to be honest.
Um, yeah, there was also I don't really like swimming for Shetland, if I'm honest.
No.
No, I mean, you can't really appreciate swimming for someone who doesn't really appreciate when you do win medals, as much as others. Because I'm trying not to sound bitter because I don't actually dislike anyone, but the person when I won a bronze at Isle of Wight, they gave the award that year to someone that didn't win a bronze at Isle of Wight. He didn't win. He was there, but he didn't win anything. Then when I was at Bermuda, I got 2 golds, 2 silvers, and a bronze. And the person who got Shetland Sports Person of the Year, they got a gold and a silver. So that was a bit annoying. And then when I won a gold and 3 silvers at Gotland, they went for someone that just won a gold. And probably the most insulting one was Jersey, where I remember when they were talking about sports awards and who you can vote for, they said, you can vote for out of anyone who won a gold medal, and they didn't mention me. I remember that, and that sucked because I was the only male that won a gold at that Island Games for Shetland. I was actually the first person to win a gold at Island Games for Shetland, so it was a bit like, that was a bit of a spit in the face, really. And at Gibraltar, they made me the flag bearer because, despite the fact that I thought that I matched Andrea's record of medals, but I miscounted how many Andrea got. So we were going around saying, "Oh, we matched it," but we didn't. But they gave me the flag bearer, and they made that seem so irrelevant. They chose me to do it, and then when we were at the closing ceremony, Bob Kerr, who chose for me to do it. I think it was him who chose me to do it, and he said, I didn't even know that they had those, and I'm like, what the fuck? How can you do that? So, and then no one
understand.
There was barely any crowd at the closing ceremony, so it felt pretty disrespectful, really. I mean,
What, the whole of the Gibraltar one?
not I got to do something that's meant to be a big honor, but it didn't feel like a very big honor when I did it. I wasn't particularly happy with how I swam because I should have got a gold in that 200 fly, but I wasn't. I did not perform in that race, so it was I should have won a gold in that race, and I was pretty disappointed that I didn't. So yeah, it's basically a big announcement.
Okay. Well,
okay.
I'm sure you could always do masters or something as well.
Yeah, well, I might be doing very part-time for a while. I might go back into it, but we'll see. So anyway, after that rather weird announcement that I probably won't be swimming again, we'll just recap all the pools that we listed. So we'll start from worst to best. The worst one is Gotland by far. We didn't know why we had to swim at Gotland. Then we went to Walsa, the Walsa who's not even a pool that makes any sense. Then North Ayrshire, then Kirkwall Grammar Pool, then Peterhead, then that random pool at Isle of Wight, which I can't remember the name of, then the West Mainland Leisure Centre, then Kirkcaldy, Inverurie, Banff, the Olympia, the old Olympia pool, the Dolan pool, and Crystal Palace. Also, is there any pools that you've been to that you would want to just stick in there?
I went to a really terrible pool in Reading in England.
Oh, fucking hell.
I was visiting a friend there. Just definitely demolished because it was like a temporary pool, and every time you kicked off the wall, it was like the whole wall would shake.
All right.
So that was definitely a weird one. And I've been to a few pools in Manchester, but again, nothing special, pretty average.
All right.
And loads of pools around Glasgow, and if you heard of the Gorbals pool.
Oh, I think I've heard of it. I've never been.
Yeah, it's again average. I would say No, not really any special ones. Although, like, I went to a really nice pool in Sweden, in Jönköping, where I lived. Like, that was, yeah, I'd probably rate that. That's definitely in my top 10. Like, a really nice 50-meter pool.
So
And
I
just like in
imagine
a really small village as well.
all right, cool, awesome. So we got some from Jake there. Sadly, we can't just stick it in here. That would have been very useful if we could.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, carry on, Felix. Let's get this wrapped up.
Yeah. So in the not that good section, we have the RGU pool, the Northfield pool, the Bridge of Dawn pool, the Forest pool, Bucky, the Peak, Bonaccord Bath, the Isle of Wight pool, Genoa, the Ren 96 pool. I can't remember which one it was. John Smith, Jersey, and the Royal Commonwealth pool. All in not that good. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
All right. In the middle, in the OK pools, we have Fraserburgh, Yale, Unst, Sandwick, Scalawa, the Edrot Centre in Åland, Carnegie, the new Olympia pool, the Piccanori, I think it's called the Piccanori, I don't know, Stirling, and then Sunderland. In the great to good section, we have Air Maribad, which is not even, this is just a random pool that I went training in. The best pool in Mallorca. West Hill, Swansea, the Clickamin, ASV, Ireland National Pool, Ponds Forge, and Bolzano. And at the top, we have Tenerife Top Training, Gibraltar, Tall Cross, the NMLC, Peter Van Den Hoogen Band Pool, the Aquadome, and the Bermuda Pool. So the Bermuda Pool wins that one. So that's...
Yeah, would you? So we're saying Bermuda Pool is number one.
Bermuda Pool is number one. Would you agree? Ahead of Aquadome?
I would agree. I would agree for sure. What would you say is the worst one then? So we go
Gotland. I mean, that pool,
without a question.
It's just the circumstances as well. I mean, the fact that the organizer was discouraging people to turn up was a bit of a red flag. I mean, yeah, this was meant to be a big international competition, and we're doing it in a school pool that was crap. Actually, I don't know. Well, it's either that or Walser, because again, I said Walser makes absolutely zero sense. So, but at least
yeah, that's fair.
So, what would you put? Gotland, or well, you never went to Gotland, but a pool that really sucked or a pool that makes no sense?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I just have this Guernsey pool in my head now. It doesn't make any sense to me. But like, it's kind of all I can think about. So many pools in my head. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably the Kirkwall Grammar. Like, this is the worst pool I went to.
All right.
I definitely, put that there. Just did not like swimming. It was so dark, dingy.
Yeah, it is a dark, dingy pool. I just, the only reason I wouldn't put that in last was because of that amazing, like,
the atmosphere. Yeah.
The atmosphere that we got. I think it was 2007 that atmosphere was absolutely awesome. Everybody turned up and everybody screamed their heart out for their teams. So it was better then than it was in any of the other times we swam there. So, but just for that, it's not going in last place. So yeah, I think that's it. I think it's time to wrap up. Really, this went on a bit longer than I thought it would, if I'm honest.
It's been good. I've enjoyed reminiscing about the pools, and hopefully the listeners have. I guess they've maybe fallen asleep by now, but maybe they've
get to
the end to find out the real answers. So, yeah, thanks to all the listeners then for listening, and
thanks for everyone that listened.
Host,
was that?
You've been a great host.
Oh, thank you. You've been a good guest. I'm very glad that you came to join and stayed awake as well. Even though the pools, about a list of 10 pools that you've never been to.
Yeah, but it's funny. It shows actually how many pools we have been to, but not even together, which I think is fun.
Exactly. I mean, that's crazy, man. Well, thank you very much for coming. If you want to see more lists like this, then you can just ask or request it. If not, then we'll probably do one anyway. Because it's fun. I had a good time. So thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.